Hey, that was the part of the intro. Now I'm going to explain something here, okay? I'm not doing yards. I'm retired, okay? This is just a hat that I am wearing for now on. Um, for uh the new business that I'm doing now, which is working and painting and carrying on, doing all kinds of new maintenances. Um, but just as of right now, this is just a new handyman's hat, even though it says something totally different on the hat itself. It's just more for the um, the looks and stuff. It's just like I said, it's just more for this. I am retired from yards and stuff and doing lawn maintenance. This is just the hat that I'm wearing for now on for this business that I am with now, which is home improvement JD. Um, so there's a lot of other people that's out there that does home improvement stuff. Now they might do drywall and all that other stuff. Now today I just did like, a little bit of everything, which was um just everything. Um I can't really pronounce it like everybody else can. Mainly it was not paint, but it was something that you have to put on a wall before uh painting. It was more like I did have it on me, but then I came home, showered, and now here I am live. Um, Now I will be. This will be probably the last video up until Wednesday. I just wanted to come on and let you know that the first day went well. Tomorrow I go back about 10 a.m. To do some more, and I'm not gonna sit here and lie to you. It was probably one of the best things that I can actually come up with. Okay, and I'm gonna tell you, whenever you go to mess with paint and whatever, it's going to be a little bit hesitant. You're not gonna have like, you know, you, right now we only have like one coat. We got to go back over it again. But so we're gonna do that, and then we're probably gonna do some baseboards. So that was one of the things. Um, that was one of the things that we had also that we have to pretty much get done. So we got to do that, and that was in the whole case of scenario there. But it does take time just to do every little step there could be. Like it don't matter what it could be, but it's a matter of time. And then I did take a measuring tape. I did take my carpenter's pencil. Um, Pretty much gonna do that again tomorrow. Take what I need and come back with what I need. So, and mainly every job ain't gonna be the same. There'll probably be different jobs. So you'll get phone calls about a certain job that somebody wants, you know, but I didn't get a job. I mean, I did. I just asked the guy if I could help with doing this, you know, thing that's over there at the church. And of course, he said yeah, and to meet him up, and we met up and we did some work today. So, and I go back, like I said, tomorrow. So, um, pretty easy, a little bit, here and there, but it was fun. I'm not gonna sit here and lie to you. It was fun. It just takes time to know all the all the cases, all of what you need to know. It takes time to know all of that, but math. There's always math involved in carpenter work. How I know that is because the guy was doing a lot of math while he was reading a tape measure, and then there was at one point today that he had me read a tape measure, and I tried, the best I could. And of course, if I'm gonna have this type of career, I'm going to need to get used to the smells that they're gonna have, like the paint wise, the wood smells when you're cutting the wood, what depth to cut it at. There's all that other stuff, and then it's a certain amount. It takes a certain amount of time to know to know every step, because within a lot with like within doing carpenter work, you just can't expect to know every little step, because it's not every like I said, every job is going to be different. It's not going to be the same. So every job is going to be, different from our expectance. So, and it was a fun day. Don't get me wrong, it was a fun day. I got to, you know, to learn a little bit about what it takes to be a carpenter, stuff like that, and to have your own, carpenter business. Now, I can do miscellaneous repairs and stuff like that, changing out doorknobs, painting, and stuff like that. But at the same time, it ain't gonna be that easy than what you guys think it would be, you know, because everybody is not perfect when it comes to doing all the work that you think you might know. Even though you might think that you really, really, it takes practice, and you have to have that time to know what you're actually, what this work's actually about and stuff like that. Because like I said, I'm still basically learning the career myself. In this career, everybody is not going to know what the career is about, you're not going to be knowing right there and then what the job is going to be about, what it could be, uh, because you don't normally know these things until you get to a job site. You won't know until you have a tape measure in your hand or within the hand, and stuff like that. But see, when you're going to be doing installation or you know uh popcorn ceilings and scraping all the popcorn off the ceilings and then texturing it or whatever, you're still basically learning that. You're not, basically, you're not going to just know everything within that time, that a category. You're just not going to know it like you would if, but this, like I said, this is a church that I worked at today. And, you know, I put primer on a wall and I got to do the extra coat tomorrow, and, and stuff like that. Cause like I said, I only did only one coat today, and I got to do the other coat tomorrow, so that's a whole nother thing. Tape measure, I used it today. It's up on top of the box next to my work clothes that I will be wearing tomorrow, which is, can you see, right over there on top of that box? My work clothes for tomorrow. And yes, I understand that I have an old lawn care hat on. I retired from doing yards. I'm just now, you know, working on houses, doing a little bit of what do you call instruction work now, mainly like changing out doorknobs and fixing miscellaneous things. The only thing is, you for what I'm going to be doing, you don't really need a business license. I looked it up. That's the state of Florida policy. I don't know what it is if you guys are out of state, whether or not you need one. But for me, I don't need one. I just can't mess with anything that's electric, like wires, electrical. I just can't mess with that. But like painting, hanging up picture frames, fixing doorknobs, fixing doors, putting a door up, that I can do, or like fixing a door hinge if it's missing a screw and I can just put one in. That's easy. Um, just but anything like I said is electrical wires, anything that's electrical. I cannot touch it. I'll get in trouble because you know that's all requiremental for license and everything. But little stuff that I'm going to be doing, don't need one. So, um, but mainly what you're going to want, do it yourself. That's what you're going to mainly want, um, and stuff like that. I have showed a long time back on when I discussed what I was going to be doing for a living, the tools. Now, I got a level, I got a pry bar. You guys, if I was to show the pry bar, you would be surprised on how big my pry bar is. It's right here. It's super heavy duty. Okay, that's a big heavy duty pry bar right there. That end and then this end. So that's a really good one. Uh, High quality. If you're going to be doing some heavy duty work like what I may be doing, tear downs and stuff like that. Now you might ask me if I know how to like remodel or not remodel but rebuild. If I was to do a tear down, no, I can only do a tear down. I can't rebuild. Now I could help somebody do it, but to do it by myself, no, I can't. Um, but I can help somebody do it. So that's that's one of the policies there as well. But something that's easy that you guys can probably put in my hands that I can do. But if it's like, oh, get a saw and rebuild this, rebuild that, no, I can help somebody do it and learn, but to do it by myself and rebuild, no, I can't do it. Tear downs I can do, but to haul it off and all that, no. I can help somebody do it. If I do the tear down and you find somebody to haul it off, I can ride with them, haul it off, and then get my paycheck. And you might ask how I would prefer to get paid if I was to do, like if it was your own house or whatever, how I would like to be paid. Well, I have Cash App. I would be able to get paid by card where you put it on my Cash App or cash in hand. I'll take both. Cash in hand or Cash App. I'll take both of those. But if it's need be, Cash App is how I would but I don't do Apple Pay or nothing like that. It's just through Cash App or cash only. Those two things. So that's just me, and that's what I'm going by, and that's also what I'm sticking with. Now, the level, I've been over this once before, but the level is actually right here. Carpenter's pencil. Every carpenter has a pencil. Every contractor has a pencil. Now, you could wear it with tip inside or tip out. I always try to tend to wear it tip out, so when I go grab it, it's immediately ready to write down something or make a mark on a piece of wood. So it's always tip out. A lot of times, a lot of guys will put tip in, but I wear mine tip out, so it's in hand, ready to be marked. Um, Now, not saying that I would always do this work at night, but and you might not have a lot of areas that might not have electricity or anything, and you might be working out in that. Like it could be an attic or something that don't have a light bulb, and you're going up to to work up in there. Maybe replace a board up there in the attic or something, and there's no light. Well, you got a headlamp, so that's easy said and done. Don't judge, but somebody gave me a pink hammer, so a hammer's a hammer. So, and like I said, a contractor is a contractor, a handyman's a handyman. And I do have a screw gun. If you go look at the past video, because I'm not going to drag it out, it's actually in a toolbox behind where the fireplace is at, and I'm not going to go dig it out. But in the past video that I made, it's there. You guys can go check it out. Um, there's a clip that clips right onto your pants or whatever, your harness or whatever you may be that you're um you're wearing when you do handyman stuff. So, you know, and I'm gonna tell you, doing this type of work, it ain't gonna be easy. But I'm learning, and but and I just don't do yards no more, and I'm just gonna enjoy that. The thing you might ask that I do is what I'm doing now, my new career, and just enjoy the work week. And before you know it, it'll be Friday, and everybody go party on the weekend. But doesn't mean go drink beer and get hyper. The Lord don't like that. So, with that all being said, it's a short video because I didn't want to be on here very long. Plus, I'll be back on here Wednesday night at about 7:30. So, y'all just hang out. Y'all see you. Home Improvement JD out. See ya.